Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Someone wanted to know why I always refer to heaven or the other side as dimension. And the reason why I always say dimension is because that's what Spirit has always said to me from a little girl, even before I understood what the word dimension meant. They always would say to me, here in this dimension. And I think they use that verbiage with me because it helps me have a clearer understanding of the other dimension being right here, because that's what another dimension would be, right here, connected with us. So when people say to me, and I've shared with you before that most of my clientele are parents who have lost children. So when people will say to me, parents who come here who have lost a child, will ask, where is my son? Where is my daughter? I'll say, put your hand out, put your arm out. Now you're there. That's the dimension they're in. Because that's the way I see it, and that's the way it's explained to me by Spirit. So they have the ability, in full spirit, once they pass, they have the ability to pull their energy in whenever we need them to. And you've heard me say that many times. So I'll use as an example, if you're walking down a busy street in New York City and you're thinking about your child that passed, or you're thinking about a parent that passed, they instantly pull their energy in, and they're walking right along with you on that same street, but in a different dimension. In a different dimension. So they never say to me here in heaven. Once in a while they'll say on the other side, but 95% of the time they always say here in this dimension. And again, I think it just helps me get a clearer understanding of how it is on the other side, and how it is when the soul steps out of the physical body and just begins its life on the other side. Okay, so for me, like I say, if there's a love or blood connection, for me, I believe what Spirit tells me and how it's always been said to me. And they say if there's a love or blood connection, we can pull our energy in. And again, when I say energy or use the word vibration, I'm talking about the soul, which we know resides in the right side of the brain. And people have asked me also, is the soul like a little blob? Because you say it's in the right side of the brain, so is it a little blob? No, the soul, we have two bodies. We have a physical body and we have a spiritual body. And the spiritual body steps out of the physical body, but looks as we look now. So some people say, I know some mediums say, oh, it's energy and it's different and we don't have bodies and this and that. And I'll disagree, because Spirit tells me that we recognize each other as how we looked when we lived on the earth. Because just as the spiritual body is a gift from God, the spirit is a gift from God, so is the physical body. So we have two bodies, a spiritual and a physical body, and we recognize each other as how we recognized each other when we were here in the physical sense. Okay, so or lived a physical life rather. So I hope that answers your question, and as always, I leave you in God's love and light.